Hey, what you say, everybody? It's DJ Mo D here coming to you from What You Say Radio. Appreciate y'all always tuning in, locking it in with me. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the page, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so that whenever I post content to my page that you are alerted and you can check it out. Hey, in this video, I am going to discuss Week 9 here in the NFL, and specifically I'm going to talk about the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions, as I've already given my preview and my picks for Week 9. As you know, for this game I chose Detroit. If you follow me, I'm going with my mind over my heart once again for a second straight week, as I think the Detroit Lions right now are the better team, and so I am going to go with them, even though I will be rooting for my Vikings. Go what you say. And so again, I'm going to talk about a couple of key points, key things to watch for this week's or tomorrow's game here with the Detroit Lions going against the Vikings. First, this is going to be a tough NFC North division battle, as it always is. As y'all know, they were the two top teams in NFC North last week. Going into the last couple of weeks of the season, they were fighting it out for the division crown. It came out, the Detroit Lions ended up winning the division crown the last game of the season with a win over the Vikings, where, if you remember, Sam Darnold kind of folded in that last game. All they had to do was win that game and they would have won the division title. However, they lost, and then they had to go on the road to play against the Los Angeles Rams and ended up getting knocked out of the playoffs. And so here we are again, a pivotal point of the season right here. In the midway point of the season, the Vikings are 3-4 right now, whereas the Detroit Lions are 5-2. The Green Bay Packers are on top of the division with a 5-1 and a 1 record. That one is a tie that they had with the Dallas Cowboys earlier. So very important games, and this is more important, in my opinion, for the Vikings, as they're trying to fight to get to 500 with a 3-4 record. So the pressure's on the Vikings here. And so a key point to look at is J.J. McCarthy's return. Carson Wentz is out. He has had shoulder surgery. He had been battling through for the last couple of weeks. Got to give him a big props for fighting and hanging in there and fighting for our team, throwing his body on the line. And so wish him a speedy recovery, Carson Wentz. But J.J. McCarthy comes back this week after a ankle injury that has had him sidelined for a little over a month now. And so he's going to be key, because last time we seen McCarthy in the first 2 games of the season, there were 8 quarters in which 7 of them he played very horrible. He was bad. And then there was 1 quarter, that was the fourth quarter of the first game against Chicago Bears, where he mounted the comeback to get the win. So we don't really know, us Vikings, what we really have in J.J. McCarthy. So it's time to see. There have been some rumors out there that Kirk Cousins is looking for a trade. He wants to get out of Atlanta and that he could potentially come back to Minnesota. Hey, we don't know what's going to happen with that. So we're going to play and roll what we got right now. And J.J. McCarthy is the man that we have on our team. So he's going to be key tomorrow. All right. Now, on the other side, Detroit isn't backing down. They got Jared Goff, who has been very steady. The Lions' high-powered offense is one of the high-powered offensive lines, that is one of the best in football. And then you got Amon St. Brown at wide receiver. You got Williams at wide receiver. You got the running backs in Gibbs and Montgomery, who run the ball well. And so they are loaded on offense. Coach Dan Campbell, who I call the gambler, he's built that blue-collar identity that's all about toughness, balance, and attitude, and taking risk, of course. And so Detroit's trying to maintain their NFC North crown, and a win here keeps them in that train, and keeps them on the Green Bay Packers' heels. So this game might just come down to the matchups, especially with Justin Jefferson versus the Lions secondary. We also got Addison. Addison has been looking good the last couple of weeks, and that was with Carson Wentz. So we got to see how JJ, when I say JJ, I'm talking about Justin Jefferson and J.J. McCarthy and Addison and Hockenson, and how they're going to start meshing with each other. Okay? And so if McCarthy can get Jefferson involved early, it could open up the run game and test Detroit's depth at corner. But don't sleep on the Lions pass rush, as they got Aiden Hutchinson, who just received that big contract. Big ups to him. Big congratulations to him, especially he was injured, got injured last year, knocked out for the season. So it's good to see him back dominating the young kid. I actually like him. Not a big Detroit Lions fans, but I do like Aiden Hutchinson. All right. And he's the type of player who can wreck a rookie's confidence real quick, especially if the offensive line, which we have a very bad offensive line in Minnesota right now. Or let me take that back. Let me double back on that. We don't have a bad offensive line. We have a very injured offensive line. That's the problem with us right now. And so we'll see how that goes. So what's the X factor of the game for Minnesota? X factor is probably going to be the ball control. Got to keep the ball out of Goff and the Lions offense. Got to keep them off the field. As I mentioned earlier, they are a high-powered offense. Speaking of the Detroit Lions, as well as we are when we're on point and we're on key, we're a high-powered offense as well. The X factor for Detroit Lions is going to be red zone efficiency. Can they can move the ball, but finishing drives with touchdowns will separate them if they can get the touchdowns versus field goals. So, again, as we know, the gambler, he takes a lot of gambles. He's going to go for it on 4th and short. If he's in a 4th and 2, sometimes if he's in a 4th and 5 and he's on the right side of the field, the gambler's going to take his chances. And I'm talking about Dan Campbell, that is, y'all. And so, again, the betting trends, the odds are that the Lions are the slight favorites, but again, don't be surprised if the Vikings keep it close. It all depends on J.J. McCarthy. My prediction, I told y'all, I'm going with my mind again over my heart. Detroit Lions are going to win this probably 27-24. But there's always a big but in the room. I'm pulling for my Vikings, y'all. I got that Skol fever, and I'm still gonna represent, and I'm still gonna be rooting for them regardless of my choice, y'all. So with that being said, this one's personal for both sides. You got the pride. They're looking for jockeying for playoff position. They're also trying to get division control. And so I want to know who you got. Let me know who you got in the comments section. Drop your predictions in the comments. Let me know what you think. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content that I upload here on YouTube. I appreciate y'all always tuning in and locking it in right here with DJ Mo D. And hey, remember, I keep you informed, I keep you inspired, and I need you to stay locked in, right? Everybody enjoy your football Sunday. Peace out. What you say.